arriba de su abismo cae una cascada, fuerte y ruidosa, sonando sus tambores. ¡Ya se van!, grita la cascada alegremente. A despedirlos con marcha. Y así se fueron, derechitos, con sabiduría, seguridad y dignidad hacia la universidad, a aprender más. De lejos los veo marchando, y luego siento la inundación, el abismo sube y calienta la cascada, el agua llega a mi pecho y siento como llega a los ojos y caen las lágrimas del mundo.
That goes without saying. He thought he was supposed to roast people, but he didn't see any of that coming from the first two speakers.
Never caught them before.
He won't touch the chancellor because you can fire him.
He hasn't done that. He's done that before too.
He's going to start with what Linda Haley told him to tell people. Thank God that I screwed up the induction really badly, and I taught Maddie and Mandy how to do the evening of academic excellence. He doesn't know who to start with. There are too many students that are wonderful here. But he'll start with Maddie. And the thing that he'll remember about Maddie, other than she's an amazing writer, was that she was always either having a cold, ending a cold, or getting a new cold. He says it has something to do with your earring above your eyebrow. He was going to say something about Mandy. But God gets you if you really go after the people that are nice. So he's left just with Marie. And it's the story he'll end with. We had a meeting to write homework essays. He showed up, Mandy showed up, and Loretta showed up. I'm good at this. Maddie was supposed to come, but we all know now that she was probably sick. What we didn't realize was that Marie had been thrown off of a horse. So when we sat down to write the essays, all Marie would do was hold her head and say, ow. And then she started to cry. At which point I looked over at Maddie to see if the process was really that bad. And Mandy was fine. So then we asked her what happened. And she started to cry.
That was really long.
What that told him was that there was two ways to succeed in life. One is to be gifted with some level of intelligence. gets you through things. Other people fight through problems. And she came and tried to do the essay despite she probably had a concussion. And on a serious note, everybody here is like that. Not that they have concussions. But that you fight through problems and you succeed. And he wishes you success.
Now we go. So I have a lot of anecdotes, but I just kind of want to start out with a little bit of how I came to be, because I'm kind of an enigma. I'm not faculty and I'm not staff. Technically, I'm a student assistant, but I've been so honored to be a part of Phi Theta Kappa ever since I was a member. Went from a member to a vice president, and then Paul asked me to be an advisor. And I just can't imagine going to Cañada College and not being part of Phi Theta Kappa. As an individual, it's given me so much. As being a returning student adult, coming back to college after, well, actually never having received my degree, I never thought that I would ever be a scholar and be at this level. So I just want to thank Cañada College for providing me with the kind of education that I know it's going to take me to future places, although I really don't want to leave, and that's kind of in the balance. So, and you know, I'm not used to getting up and speaking in front of a lot of people, so I am a little bit nervous, but there's one person that I want to thank for anybody else, and that is Paul Shelley. Paul is my mentor. He's pushing me, and he won't let me, he won't let me go, and it's just been a pleasure working with you, Paul. I love your sense of humor, and you're just a great guy. And I wish Linda Haley was here with us tonight, but she was unable to make it, and she's been my confidant and friend, and I hope that she will be able to make it next year. And Lisa Palmer is wonderful. She always has a kind word to say, and always words of encouragement. And for you people who are Phi Theta Kappans who are returning next year, Anthony Swanson, who's our history teacher on campus, is going to also be joining Phi Theta Kappa. So I'm very excited about that. Take advantage of him. He's just such a positive teacher, and I think he's just going to be a wonderful addition to PTK. And there's another person that I would really like to acknowledge, and that's Lindsay Moore. And Lindsay was our first of all, she was co-president, and she was one of the reasons why I also joined Phi Theta Kappa. So she was just so encouraging and so wonderful to be around, so positive and everything. And then later on, she became the international vice president, and her campaign was Lindsay Moore for Division 4. And she had like this really cool jungle theme. And if you've ever been to an international convention with Phi Theta Kappa, you're busy the whole time. But when you're running for a position, it's just absolutely crazy. It's chaos. And you're campaigning all the time, and you're handing out flyers, and you're just really pushing for your candidate. And I was part of that crew, Lindsay and some other gals, and had one gal named by the name of Charmaine Soku, who was also former president of Phi Theta Kappa. And one of her props was this huge alligator. And so she would be running around this area with this huge alligator, and she's like about 5 feet. So she's got this huge thing just running around, and I'll never forget that. She ended up taking it on the plane, and I think after all of her hard effort and everything, that was one of the reasons why Lindsay was nominated. Couldn't make her academic scholarship or any all the wonderful qualities that she has. But anyway, thank you so much for letting me speak, and I just love the school, and I want to end with the students, because for me, being part of Cañada College